Hello, BookTube. This is my February 2025 reading plan. I'm going to start February with a reread of Fullmetal Alchemist by Hiromu Arakawa. I've already started my reading of the whole series, and it is amazing. I'm really enjoying it. Fullmetal Alchemist is one of the great manga series. It's about two brothers, Edward and Alphonse Ulrich, who are prodigy alchemists. One day they attempt human transmutation, a forbidden alchemical operation with the intent to resurrect their deceased mother. The transmutation fails, and Edward loses a leg. Alphonse loses his body. To save Alphonse's life, Edward sacrifices his arm to be able to transcribe Alphonse's soul onto a suit of armor. After receiving a prosthetic for his missing leg and arm, Edward becomes a state alchemist known as the Fullmetal Alchemist, and he and Alphonse go in pursuit of the Philosopher's Stone, an alchemical object reputed to be able to bypass the law of equivalent exchange. The brothers travel around Amestris looking for the stone and evidence of the stone when they discover the awful truth about the stone and a long-running conspiracy going to the very heart of the Amestrian military that sees both brothers and many of their allies as important ingredients for the promised day. I have read Fullmetal Alchemist in its entirety several times, and I love this series. It is so good. And I'm having a blast reading it this first week of February. So my plan for February is to... So Fullmetal Alchemist will be read over the course of the first full week of February. And then from there, I'm going to at least read manga during the weekends. And so the second weekend of February, if everything goes to plan and these books come in, I will read the January new releases of the 5 series that I am actively following. I had them on pre-order at Book People, however, they have not yet shipped. I've reached out to Book People, so hopefully there will be an explanation or they will ship so that I can get them by this coming weekend. Hopefully, because I really want to read them. So, I'm hoping to get to Black Clover, Volume 36 by Yuki Tabata. Black Clover has become one of my favorite manga series. It's about a young man named Asta who, in a world in which everybody has magic, he doesn't. However, that doesn't stop Asta from aspiring to become the Wizard King, the most powerful wizard in the Clover Kingdom. However, Asta's best friend and foster brother, Yuno, also seeks that position. Tolabon Hanako-kun, Volume 21 by AidaIro. Tolabon Hanako-kun is also one of my favorite series. It's about a young woman named Yashiro who is told that if she goes to a specific toilet stall, performs a set ritual, she will be able to summon the spirit known as the Tolabon Hanako-san and be granted a wish. Yashiro goes to the stall, she performs the ritual, and she meets Hanako-san. However, this Hanako-san is not the typical form of the ghost. It's, in this case, the ghost of a young boy named Amane. And he attempts to grant Nene her wish. It goes horribly. And in order to save Yashiro from her wish, Yashiro agrees to become Amane's assistant, and they go on a number of adventures regulating the relationships between the living and the supernatural at this school. there are 7 mysteries, of which Amane, as the 7th, has a regulatory authority over the other 6. And alongside a young exorcist named Ko, the trio sort of come up against a conspiracy at the school led by the ghost of Amane's twin brother, Tsukasa, who is a little shit. I'm really looking forward to reading Tabata Hanako-kun Volume 21. I'm also looking forward to a record of Ragnarok Volume 13 by Azychika, Shinya Umemura, and Takumi Fukui. This continues the fight between Buddha and the 7 gods of good fortune and their various incarnations. Gachiakuta Volume 5 by Kei Urana. This is the story of a revengeful young man named Rudo who was raised on an artificial habitat when he was falsely accused of a crime he did not commit and exiled by being tossed off of the habitat and descending to a planet below, where he discovers that he has the ability to channel a superpower through a beloved object. And he joins a group of people like him called Givers, who basically fight trash monsters, although he only wants to be able to go back to the habitat and wreak bloody vengeance. And Snowball Earth Volume 4 by Yuhiro Tsujitsugu. So Snowball Earth is about a young man who, alongside a mecha, defended Earth from various alien invasions. However, his last mission failed, and Earth was rendered a snowball. So he returns to Earth, and he joins up with a group of survivors while trying to figure out how to restore Earth from its current state and fighting some really weird religious zealots. Enjoyed this series so far. I'm also planning on reading 6 more volumes of Bleach by Tite Kubo, starting from volume 37. I just need to order them. So Bleach is also one of my favorite manga series. It's about a young man named Ichigo Kurosaki who can see and interact with ghosts. One day he meets a Shinigami in the form of a young woman named Rukia Kuchiki, who is hunting a hollow, a corrupted spirit that has lingered in the world of the living too long. The hollow attacks the Kurosaki clinic, and Rukia is injured. Excuse me. In order to defeat the hollow, Rukia transfers some of her power to Ichigo, transforming him into a substitute Soul Reaper. And Ichigo has to perform Rukia's duties as the Soul Reaper for Karakura Town, although his adventures snowball from there. If I'm lucky, I think I'm also going to start back up on One Piece by Eiichiro Oda. One Piece is a long-running manga series, one of the most popular manga series in the world. It's about a young man named Monkey D. Luffy who aspires to become king of the pirates. And so he has left his small town and has assembled a crew to go on many adventures. And I would also like to start back up with Twin Star Exorcists by Yoshiaki Tsukino. So Twin Star Exorcists is about 2 young people, Rokuro and Benio. They are both prodigy trainee exorcists. However, after a tragedy, Rokuro wants nothing to do with being an exorcist. However, his superiors have decreed that he and Benio are the fated twin-star exorcists, who are destined to marry and produce a super exorcist baby. While Rokuro and Benio are initially resistant, they gradually come to care for each other and even fall in love. And it's their desire to make sure that their prophesied super baby doesn't actually have to do the whatever is expected of said super baby, that they both want to get into the fight and rededicate themselves to kicking a species of demonic humanoids named the Kagare's butts. And I would also like to read a few more volumes of Blue Exorcist by Kazue Kato, starting from volume 4. So Blue Exorcist is about twins. Ren and Yukio, who are the children of the devil. And in order to prevent Dad from manifesting in the world, they both become trainee exorcists, although Yukio is a bit more advanced than Ren is. However, Ren has to keep his demonic heritage secret, otherwise people might try to kill him. Okay, so that's my manga plan. On to everything else. So, I'm going to participate in Eternal Drama, which is a project created by Angelia of Read and Reread. Every month she is going to be reading 2 plays. This month, one of the plays is A Raisin in the Sun by Lorraine Hainsbury. This is a play from the mid-20th century. It's about an African-American family who have long aspired to own their own home. However, there are forces at work that is trying to get them to sell that home. I believe that's what the story's about. It's been a very long time since I've read this play. Certainly, I read it in high school. I think I might have read it also in college. But it's been about 20 years, if not more, since I read this. So I'm overdue for a reread and am looking forward to giving it another go. I also want to try something by August Wilson, so I will be reading Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Now, August Wilson, I think he's going. Angelia is going to read one of August Wilson's plays later in the year, but I'm going to go ahead and do Ma Rainey's Black Bottom this month. I also want to read some poetry, so I'm going to reread Radioactive Starlings by Myron Hardy and his most recent collection, Aurora Americana. Quite fond of both of these collections. And I want to reread Glitter Road by January Gill O'Neill. Now, here comes one of my conundrums for this month. I've also been wanting to reread SOS Poems 1961 to 2013 by Amiri Baraka. It's been quite a while since I last read this, and I would like to reread it. But I'm also want to try to read 2 works of history, and I don't think I can do both. So, do I want to reread SOS, or do I want to finally have it out with both Adrian Goldsworthy or Guy de la Baudoyer? So I've had a number of reading encounters with both. More so Adrian Goldsworthy than Guy de la Baudoyer. So I'm wondering if maybe I should do some Bell Redemptions this month and have another go at Rome and Persia by Adrian Goldsworthy. This is a history of the relationship between the Roman Empire and various incarnations of the Persian Empire. More so Rome than Persia. If you watched my Beefcake Tag video yesterday, I think I pretty much talked myself out of wanting to give this book a Bell Redemption. I'm also thought about giving a Bell Redemption to The Fall of Egypt and the Rise of Rome by Guy de la Baudoyer. But I don't know, because there is another book about Ptolemaic Egypt, The Last Dynasty, I think, is what it's called, by Toby Wilkinson, that's coming out in April. And I'm seriously thinking about pre-ordering that and reading it when it comes out. So I don't know necessarily if I want to read too much about the Ptolemies, because sometimes I think that can skew things. And if you want more, I'll talk about it later. But anyway, so I don't know. But I also really didn't like what I read of The Fall of Egypt and the Rise of Rome. So that leaves me with 2 books by both authors that I have not read yet, or have had goes at yet. Antony and Cleopatra by Adrian Goldsworthy, or Gladius by Guy de la Baudoyer. I'm not certain. I think I'm leaning towards reading Antony and Cleopatra, but maybe I should have a go at Gladius. No, I think I'll do Antony and Cleopatra. So I think what I'll do, I could put SOS back to April, but I also want to do Robinson Jeffers. Okay, I'll just do Antony and Cleopatra and then reread SOS. And then if anything issues, I'll just read more manga. And I will, of course, be reporting back during weekly reads how things progress. Although this coming weekly reads will be a Fullmetal Alchemist special. So anyway, BookTube, this February reading plan turned out a lot better than the one I did last night. So I think I actually prefer this filming setup than I do anything in my room. Although when I do my the 2025 library tour comes to my manga collection, I'll try to figure out better filming arrangements in my bedroom. But until then, I think I'll try to film in here. So, anyway, BookTube, later this afternoon, look forward to a continuation of my 2025 library tour. I will be beginning with this shelf up here. So, until then, thank you, have a great afternoon, and stay safe.